Hello everybody and welcome back to the Overwatch World Cup 2019. My name is Brent, I'm joined by Sideshow. And boy oh boy, do we have a game for you. That's right, it's going to be the Stars and Stripes right behind me here. The best country in the world, of course, up against the second best country in the world.
The best country in the world.
Second best country in the world, the United Kingdom.
You're from the United Kingdom.
Josh, I made the same joke last year, but I'm going to make it again. I need that green card.
You still haven't got it. Whole of 2019, the man is no closer to staying in the United States.
Yeah, they're trying to remove me. But anyway, enough about me and more about the game at hand, because this is, let's talk about the stakes between these two teams. Yeah. Very important match right now for the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, a must-win situation for them. They're currently on 2 losses so far
0 and 2
in their group. You need to go 2-2 to stand a chance of sneaking in.
To be fair, their first match was against South Korea, which they lost, but it was close on the first map. Their second one against France, and they ended up losing that as well.
Yep. So we'll see how this one goes, but we're already in the action. It's the United States of America versus the United Kingdom, and KSP has already come out clutch. 2 kills. This will be an easy cleanup right now for the United Kingdom. Wonderful stuff so far.
Yeah, we missed the opening of that fight, but the Reaper Doomfist has been strong so far for the United Kingdom. KSP on that Reaper, very good, and Kib on the Doomfist too. It's when they fight against Bastion kind of compositions that they were really struggling against France, and that loss really hurts them. A 2-1 loss to France means this is a must-win. Sinatra drops onto their head, but he doesn't catch anyone.
Yeah, he went for an attempt there with the rocket punch, but didn't actually connect onto anyone. Meanwhile, KSP is in the back line causing havoc. And he's created a lot of space right now. Team UK can move forward across the point, and Kib with the uppercut is going to be able to collect another kill onto Corey. KSP getting away with a little bit of murder here. Nobody really challenging him. And it feels like almost the United Kingdom have put all of their eggs into the United States basket, if you will. It feels like they are fully prepared for him, but as I say that, the gravitating flux is going to come out from the United States. Sound barrier to match it now. The United Kingdom is still in this. Meteor strike being used by Kib. Needs to connect it onto somebody. Trying to send a chance. The rocket punch disengages away.
But they have found a couple of picks. Fusion's going
down as well. Look at this. United Kingdom now battling back. But this looks like it is going to be a win right now for the United States of America.
Yeah, they were able to get Moth's sound barrier and push forward with that. Surged forwards. And they had forced Funny Astro to use his much earlier in the fight. With Fusions falling, the Orisa barrier is not there. And they're able to get the advantage and finally take control of this first point. Lijiang Control Center is perhaps the most default point that you could get for a Reaper Doomfist.
Yeah, we'll see how the UK want to initiate back into this. The Coalescences are going to be trading, and with it, we're going to see a lot of kills flowing in, but this time seems to be going the way of the United States of America as well. Death Blossom from Corey got a lot of value, pumped in the damage into the UK, forced them back. He's going to pick up a couple of straggler kills as well on the tail end of it.
And both teams have been very good at staying in control once they have that point on Lijiang Control Center. They've been able to play aggressive, get value out of their ultimates, and push forwards. But the United States don't have anything, literally nothing on the board for them in terms of their ult economy coming in here. And the United Kingdom are in the exact same position. So this is going to be almost a replay of your very first fight on Control.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. It is the positional advantage for the United States, and KSP again comes up with the first pick, just as they did on the initial team fight. Off going to be going to boop, peel away for the rest of his team, trying to defend them, if you will. Now they're going to see United Kingdom moving forward, setting up defensive positionings. Kib wants to go for the seismic slam, he will indeed. Rocket punch as well, is going to connect as well as the halt, drags him back in. And the UK are going to be able to turn this one. Corey just getting a little bit of stall, a little bit of point time. Sinatra also just going to try and touch it as well.
Yeah.
Any amounts of points they can get on the ball for this control center will be good.
But they have fed United Kingdom's ult bank, so although the United States have ticked up to 72%, and one could argue that it was worth it, they have gifted the United Kingdom both of their support ultimates and very close to Smex's Gravitic Flux, which could be a game changer here.
Oh, he punched from Kib! He takes Raucus out of the fight, and that's going to mean a lack of healing for them right now. The Meteor Strike to follow it up comes down from on high. The rocket punch, not going to be connecting with anything. The uppercut and the seismic slam to disengage back to the rest of his team. Now Sinatra wants to try and turn this around for the rest of the team, but the gravitic flux will force out this sound barrier now from the United States. They want to continue to fight this. Fusions falling very, very low. Will end up dropping out of this fight. No more Orisa, no more barriers for them. A lack of damage mitigation. The United Kingdom will get 99%, but it looks like the US have managed to retake the fight and retake the point as a result.
Just too aggressive from the United Kingdom there, trying to get value out of Smex's Gravitic Flux. They tried to pull it in a doorway where they were hoping that Moth would be on the other side of the doorway, out of line of sight and not able to connect with the sound barrier. But the execution wasn't quite that perfect. And instead, Moth lands it on everybody, and utilizing that sound barrier, they push forwards and retake control. It all comes down to this. And KSP's on top!
KSP right on top, uses the Death Blossom. He's going to collect the kill down to Corey. Followed up now with the primary fire shots, Kib as well, with the kills coming in. And the United Kingdom are in a prime position to retake this point now, and round one will be eventually going their way. The United States going to try and stall it out. Super switching over to the Wrecking Ball. Maybe able to push, or at least touch in the end, but not quite. Round number one of map number one in this series going the way of the United Kingdom, and Lord knows they needed it.
Oh, they absolutely need it. 0-2 in the group after losing to South Korea and a heartbreaker against France. They need to win against the United States and Sweden, and both of those matches, they have to get large map differential in it as well. They can't just be squeaking through. Their back's against the wall here, the United Kingdom, but they did it last year. No one was expecting them to be able to topple the United States in 2018, but they came out and had the performance of a lifetime. But this is a different meta.
Notice how, as well, we've changed the format of the World Cup so that the United States don't go out in the quarterfinals instantly.
Yeah,
we did that for the United States.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, US fans.
And now the United Kingdom going to be using the Symmetra just to get a bit of an advantage in terms of how quickly they get to the point. Going to be battering each other head on.
So aggressive.
Right away on the point. You can see the Doomfist trying to put in work. Rocket Punch is coming in. KSP now taking an off angle, going in for the flank around the back, seeing if he can get any sort of damage in to secure a kill for them. But it looks like the United States are coming out on top of this fight. Big thanks as well to Sinatra and his Doomfist gameplay. This guy led the league in so many categories on this role.
Well, there's a reason that he was the regular season MVP. It wasn't just for his Doomfist. Obviously, that was what happened in the playoffs. But he was instrumental in the San Francisco Shock taking the Overwatch League by storm. And they absolutely have to get back in this round as well. The United States are so far clean in this group. No team has dealt them a loss.
Yep, they are currently 6-0 when it comes to their map differential. Very, very impressive by the United States. This seems to be their year to end up taking a win. As you can see now, ultimates are starting to come out online. Great halt from the United Kingdom, pulls them all together. Coalescence is going to be getting just that extra bit of value as they sustain the damage. Pushes forwards, and they manage to catch space out of position. A critical mistake right there from the United States. And on the back of it, the United Kingdom have free reign to just push over the United States and retake this point.
Sinatra and Space are the two crucial players for the United States, and Super has fallen as well. This was a fight that US wanted to reinvest into, but with their Orisa dying, this doesn't look like they're going to be able to find value.
Sinatra uses the Meteor Strike, but doesn't get any kills of it. Raucus coming back in with the Coalescence. The United States want to turn this, but the point has flipped over in their favor. Now we see the sound barriers being traded out by both of these teams. Gravitic Flux finally now being used by Space as he realizes he has a slight advantage, but the Fade used in the nick of time by Boombox, and he will survive. Setting up his team for victory, or will he? Corey coming back in with the Death Blossom, supported by the Supercharger. The damage output is just too much, but the United Kingdom are still holding on.
Yeah, they had their own Supercharger to reply with. Clutch from Fusions not to die in the middle of that fight. And they hold on. It's so important that the United Kingdom flipped this 30 seconds ago. If the US had held on, which they were very close to doing, this would now be at 79% for the US.
An absurd difference.
An enormous difference, which will be round changing.
We'll see now as the United States look to engage Speed Boost very quickly in. The punch, the Fortify comes out a little bit too late for Super. Brought down to half HP, and Corey falls.
Wow!
Oh my word!
It's utterly incredible! Sinatra with a 5K, set up by the hold from Super, sucks everybody in from the United Kingdom. And Sinatra comes up with the goods.
Unbelievable. That is why he was your T-Mobile MVP for the Overwatch League this year. And Super, the subtle carry. These guys, they've been working in tandem the entire year. You can tell the coordination. It's paying off in spades.
And they've just overtaken the UK in terms of that percentage point on the Gardens stage of Lijiang. The UK looking to invest both of their support ults here. That would be an advantage. They can play aggressive.
And here we have it. Another initiation by Sinatra. He goes for the punch. Met with a Fortify. Funny Astro going to be using now the sound barrier. But two members of Team USA have immediately fallen. The Gravitic Flux will connect onto the one space, will find a kill onto Smex, but this might be too little, too late, as United Kingdom are just going to be able to clean up the remaining members of Team USA and flip this point. As soon as they deal with that pesky moth in the room, get out of there.
93%, and the US are still investing players into this one. They think they can maybe turn it.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
no,
just
okay.
stall it up to 99%.
I mean, it doesn't make much difference at that point. You know, 95, 99, it's all the same. But Kip
How
going
does
down.
Kip die there?
How does Kip die? That could be disastrous. The ultimate economy was in favor of the US anyway. They're about to get double support of. The UK have to come up with a miracle here.
Kib, luckily, he's playing Doomfist, is going to be able to get back in the fight quickly, but now they have to come up with the goods. The Gravitic Flux sent up. Super using the Fortify. They get no value out of it whatsoever. Now we see the Wraith form used defensively by KSP. He wants to return to the safe clutches of his team. Super with another kill up the back of it. It is all going Team USA's way right now. Corey with a follow-up kill. 99% of the point, it flips over in their favor. And Team USA ever so closer now to securing this round in the initial map of control. UK now coming back in with the Coalescence, trying to stall this one out. They have bodies on the point, but can they secure the kills? That is the question on everyone's mind.
So much damage coming out here onto the US players, but United Kingdom have to play the point.
Well, they're going to try and play the point to try and keep the overtime ticking. It is essential they don't move off of it right now. Corey trying to deal with them,
Kip!
pumping in damage, but Kip finds another one. It is so close between these teams. Smex swinging without a care in the world around this point, desperately trying to hold on.
Funny Astro is about to get the sound barrier as well. It connects onto 4 players, 5 players.
Just
Kip, although
what
he's
they
stunned up,
needed. I can't believe it.
It stopped Space's Gravitic Flux getting anything, and Sinatra, he gets a pick, but Kip's there to reply.
See the meteor strike now by Kip as he returns it with 2 punches. Oh my word, 1 punch, 2 kills, I should say. And this looks like it's actually been turned by the United Kingdom. Players still slipping onto the point. Super remains. Muff commits the sound barrier,
And
but
the
it only
supercharger!
commits onto 2 players.
Super, though, is in position with the supercharger. If they can try and get players involved, the damage will be outrageous. Smex able to take it down, and Sinatra falls as well. They still haven't flipped the point. It's still in the United States' control.
And they finally flip it in the end. 90% and counting. Smex backs off to the clutches of his team. Has the mines available. It's do or die time right now for the United States. Smex almost gets the environmental kill. Forces the fade out of Raucus early. The mines are laid down for the stalling process. Now the Coalescence coming out from USA. This is their last opportunity to try and take it.
Great stun onto Smex. Knocks him down for a second, down to 100 health.
Sinatra! One beautiful kill there onto Boombox, taking him out. This looks like he has just set up USA for the win here. They need to win this team fight, otherwise they are going to lose the map.
And the United Kingdom's players are falling one by one. The US, it looked tough for them. United Kingdom were in it right towards the end, but the US have gathered their forces, solidified onto the point, and look to be in strong position to deal with Smex and lick this overtime wick off the board.
Players still feeding into the point now. United Kingdom desperate to not give this one up, but I think it is too little too late at this point. The body, the man advantage is too much. Primal Rage from Fusions gets absolutely deleted instantly by the Gravitic Flux. And the USA clinched a round in one of the craziest team fights I have seen thus far in the World Cup.
Unbelievable double overtime situation on Lijiang Gardens, and the US keep their hopes alive in this first map. They are looking for an undefeated group here. They have still yet to face South Korea, but if they show weakness here against the UK, it does not bode well.
A reminder as well, the United Kingdom, they need to win this set. Preferably a 3-0 for them. They're currently 0-2 in their group. One more loss will effectively eliminate them.
It will literally eliminate them. The United Kingdom cannot afford to lose.
1-1, initial map. This matchup is definitely living up to the hype now as we see Team USA rolling out, using the Symmetra, teleporting forward, getting that initial advantage with the positioning. Sinatra using his rocket punch defensively, seismic slam trying to catch Kip out of position. Kip falls. Corey putting in essential damage into him, and this is going to be a one fight for the Team USA.
Yeah, Sinatra just doing so much more work than Kip did there at the beginning. Kip went in aggressive and didn't really look like he had an exit strategy. Took a lot of damage immediately as he landed. And Sinatra just gets all of the work done there.
And we're now starting to see the real potency of the United States. You've got a duo in the form of Sinatra and Super. These guys are champions of the Overwatch League. They have worked together for a year and a half now. Their synergy is unmatched. And you can definitely tell in the way they're syncing up a lot of these holds, a lot of the rocket punches and whatnot. Ooh, but now it's time for the UK to try and initiate in, and they do find a kill onto Corey as he's caught out of position.
Corey not quite with the same synergy with the rest of his team, but the United Kingdom players are so weak. Sinatra's finishing them off, KSP falls.
Now we see the Coalescence as well being forced out by the United Kingdom. They get the extra healing, the extra sustain as hosing down the opposition. USA backing off for now. They lose Sinatra. It's going to be one of their primary damage dealers.
Space has done so much damage. Space has done so much damage that they could go in, but he gets taken out. Yeah, Kid prioritizing exactly the perfect target.
And with this being said, it's going to be the United Kingdom now. Definitely holding all the cards. They will retake this point, but not before the United States stall this for as long as they possibly can. Halt right there. Are they going to be able to finish them off eventually? Hopefully, there you go. And finally, United Kingdom are going to take control of the point. But at this point, the United States, they have that initial advantage of winning that first team fight. 52% on the counter for them.
It's anyone's game still. If the United Kingdom are able to win this next fight, the ultimate advantage will still be in their favor. This next one is so pivotal, and Sinatra gets caught. Has to use Meteor Strike on a sliver of health. Surely has to use it defensively, but no!
Unbelievable. Ends up bringing down Smex, but immediately will be returning back to the respawn queue as a result of it. Still anyone's game.
Funny Astro
focuses down the Supercharger.
But he used his sound barrier, and now Space has a free Gravitic Flux.
And we're going to see the United States immediately retaking the point. There's nothing that the United Kingdom can do. They could not even choose or attempt to take it. If they get a kill onto Corey, though, this could turn things. But now the Gravitic Flux comes out from Space, and it's a free one. It's so free, just like the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to see him take another team fight straight off the back of it.
You cannot throw shade like that at the US when they are 2-0 in their group, have demolished their opposition, France and Sweden, and are now currently winning against the United Kingdom.
That was no shade.
I'm going to need you to...
There was no shade, that was just pure facts. The United States is the freest country in the world.
Sure.
But United Kingdoms, they have an opportunity. I don't know why I said kingdoms. We don't own multiple kingdoms. It's just the one.
Yeah, one king.
Not quite, but the Supercharger is ready. That's a great ultimate to combo up that Coalescence, and that's exactly what they're going to do as you see them move in, and Corey has read it like a book. He's going to use a Death Blossom to try and at least remove it from the fight, and they do just that. And USA, with overwhelming firepower, are going to be able to win this team fight, and as a result, they secure the first map in this 3-map set against the United Kingdom.
Huge performance by the United States. They needed that, and United Kingdom took them to the brink on a couple of rounds. It was close, but it was not close enough.
And I tell you, Josh, it's a good day to be an American.
I'm going to steal this from leg day.
Don't say what? Flag. Whoa, bloody hell!
Sorry, I've never really held a flag before. I don't know how you
almost poked my eye out.
What a way to go that would be.
Well, I can't see.
Death via flag.
Anyway, that was a match. You're tangling the cable.
Yeah, sorry. I mean,
I should probably put this back.
I'm going to hold it.
I'm going to injure something.
The hopes and dreams of everyone in Great Britain ride on the shoulders
of you.
No, not of me. Of Kib, KSP, and the rest of the gang. They are 0-2 in the group so far, and now 1 map down against the United States, a team that they were able to upset in a huge fashion in the quarterfinals of our competition last year. But this year, the United States have leveled up enormously, and it's not the Ghost meta anymore. It's a meta that they're very, very comfortable with.
Yeah, no longer in the triple tank, triple support that the UK was so fond of. We've moved over as well, and the USA have been upgraded in many, many ways.
Yep.
You've got these star players like Sinatra, like Super that we saw popping off numerous times in our first map. They've also got the coaching staff of Harsh and Jungbuck as well behind them, along with Aero, the returning head coach for Team USA. This is a team that has been built, custom built, bespoke, if you will, to try and best South Korea.
Yes, absolutely. This was the best team that the USA has ever produced. It's a team that has been well coached and has experience now at the highest level, with multiple of their players having got victory in the Overwatch League Grand Finals. But it's tough competition here at the Overwatch World Cup. We are talking about the supreme level of talent on an individual basis. Yes, the teams haven't scrimmed together that often, and individual team synergies like those from Super and Sinatra can really push your team to another level.
Yeah.
But there is just so much talent here at the World Cup. You can't underestimate anybody. As South Korea found out against France.
Yes, exactly. I mean, giving up an unorthodox win, the first ever win that South Korea has ever given up in the World Cup, ever was against France earlier today.
And so you look at that and you say South Korea have already shown a little bit of weakness.
Yeah.
The USA so far have not shown any weakness. They are still perfect in their map count. Although
now,
it was close there against the UK, they are still perfect.
Still early days. And I will say as well, I mean, the UK, they had a very close series against South Korea.
True. That was on Control as well.
On Control. The rest of the series not so close.
Nope, it was a stomp.
So what does that say about this match?
Well, we were talking a little bit with Jaws and Leg Day, who were commentating the UK's previous match against France, which was a heartbreaker loss. And remember, France beat Team South Korea as well earlier on in the day. And we asked Jaws and Leg Day what was happening in this game. And they said the UK just could not break Bastion Farah compositions. The Bastion Farah was just demolishing them when it came to how they were playing.
So this has been a problem for a couple of teams actually so far in the tournament, and the next map we're going to be going to is Eichenwald.
Eichenwald
Can you think of a better Bastion Farah map than Eichenwald? I can't.
Eichenwald is the map that started kind of Bastion Farah compositions. I suppose you could argue that it was played on escort maps a little before that, but honestly, Eichenwald is fantastic for the Bastion Farah. And you've got to be thinking here, if you're Team UK and you know that that's what you're weak to, what is your counter? If you're running the... I mean, the issue seems to be that Kib is not comfortable on the Farah. And if you can't take the Farah 1v1, what do you do?
May Reaper?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be able to
absolutely
execute with the May Reaper composition. Let's see how things pan out.
Oh, look at this. And, I mean, it feels like they are thinking the same things that we are, as you see Kib rolling out on the May, KSP on the Reaper.
The incredible thing about Eichenwald, and honestly about most escort maps, in this pool, is that you can play the Bastion Farah or Bastion May compositions on attack or defense. And honestly, for most of the time, the majority of the map, it's an insanely powerful composition, and it's quite easy to execute if you have the personnel for it. But if you don't have a star Farah player, or at least someone who can hold their own against the best in the world, you're not feeling comfortable. And that is a big hero pool that is missing for Kib.
We'll see United States as they edge ever closer to another dominant win in their group. Will the United Kingdom be able to bounce back? As we see the uppercut, the fortify comes out just a little bit late from Fusion. Seismic slam straight into the UK. The punch blocked off by the May ice, the ice block. Sinatra again just putting in so much damage. The aggression by him, he knows he's got the full support of his team. He ends up trading. It's going to be the 1-for-1. He removes the Moira out of the fight, but he has created so much room now that the USA can just walk all over the United Kingdom.
Yeah, Sinatra needs to be punished more than that. He's at 79% of his ultimate, and that just shows you how much damage he was able to do. But it's not just the damage coming out from the Doomfist. He also has a lot of crowd control. If you get uppercuts, people are thrown up above the shielding, and they are stunned in the air, where they can't really move or dodge. It's so easy then to get punishes. So the way that the United States played that, I loved it. Just bullying Fusions in the tank line back.
United Kingdom feel like they're folding a little bit. Probably got their mind. Okay, that's an odd one. Managing to find a kill down to KSF when he has the Wraith Walk available, but it's going to give an opening now for the United Kingdom to see if they can find anything else. Sinatra forced to use the Meteor Strike defensively. Doesn't want to initiate in. And UK, off the back of those 3 picks, will not find the last kill there. Sinatra desperately hunting for a kill down to Smex. If he removed him, it would have given the United States an opening. They have the better defenders advantage when it comes to the respawns. They would have been able to retake a fight faster than the United Kingdoms could have got Smex back.
Yeah, the attacker spawn advantage is huge here on the first point of Eichenwald. Yeah. And so if you're even able to get 1 pick, it pushes the entirety of the front line backwards for the United Kingdom. So we'll see how long this aggressive style will work for them, but Kib just dies immediately.
Yeah, again, these kills, they're just coming out of nowhere, despite the fact that they're getting them on characters that have these escape mechanisms like the Ice Block, like the Wraith Walk. Doesn't seem to matter. The entry kills are happening. United States, they crack open this initial defense. Now, this is often said to be one of the hardest points in the game to push out of, at least on Eichenwald.
Yep.
There's potentially a more difficult one coming up right around this corner, but provides the defending team to actually have a high ground defense already set up.
And Kib cannot really afford to die there. The United Kingdom was in a position where they could have just held for a long, long time. Sinatra, though, he does die.
And this is ridiculous. We're seeing kills coming in from either side. The supercharger is going to be focused. Super, you notice he tried to body block it. He realized the importance of that supercharger. Tried to keep it up, and KSP.
That's what you love to see.
Disrespectful is what that was.
Despite the United Kingdom being 2-0 down in their group, KSP still giving them the business.
I mean, he's taking time out of the team fight where he could have been contributing it by shooting at people, by spamming that control key down.
Slam his crouch down on Sinatra's nose.
Okay, United Kingdom still got a bit of fight in them.
They've stabilized, but really what we've seen are two big mistakes here that have defined team fights. Kib dying to Sinatra, and then Sinatra dying to KSP. Neither of those should have happened, and it was because the players were playing too aggressive.
They're going to be hunting KSP down. The Sambaria is committed just to keep them back into this fight now. You're going to see the United States as they look to initiate it, but KSP comes up with the goods. The Supercharger assisted him with that one. Sinatra, meanwhile, in the back line, has absolutely just got 3 kills. My eyes do not deceive me. Almost turned this one away around, but luckily, Kib came back in with the follow-up and managed to clutch it up for the team.
But they have lost so many players that the United Kingdom is still going to have to back off. This is what we were talking about with the spawn advantage.
Unbelievable.
The UK can't hold that archway anymore because Sinatra just went buck wild in their backline.
Here we have it. Coalescence is now coming online for the UK. This is their opportunity to retake it. They also have a gravitic flux. No sound barrier for the USA to defend this with, and we're going to see the initiation happen. Raucus following up with his own Coalescence, but it does not have the healing output to match the damage that's been put out by the United Kingdom thus far. 2 picks, quick and easy. Nice little boop down to Fusions near the tail end of the fight, but it will mean that the United States are going to have to reset this one back, regroup as 6, and try and take another refight. And this is where it gets a little bit sticky. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, because you end up on this bridge, and it becomes hard to push over.
It does. It's a difficult point to be able to push if you have to reset the fight like the United States are going to have to. And they can't really use this sound barrier to engage either because Smex has his gravitic flux.
Oh, we see KSP. He's caught in a bad place.
They do engage with the sound barrier. Now Smex has a free ult to be able to use.
Well, let's see if he can do it. Smex does not use the ultimate. Oh, my word, KSP. Sinatra went for the punch, and he whiffs it, falling off into the abyss, into the Eichenwald River. KSP looking to clutch this one even further, and this is what makes this bridge so deadly. The environmental kills are coming in spades right now for the United Kingdom.
What did I just watch? How did KSP get back up there?
That.
And Sinatra, did he really try and follow him?
He tried to follow it up with a punch. He tried to knock him off the edge. He mistimed it.
Truly madness, because what happened there as well when you look at the old game is that Moth committed his sound barrier and Smex did not even have to use the flux. The United Kingdom have so many ults to be able to work with. Sinatra has to come up with the goods here again.
Forced to use the Meteor Strike to
defend
himself back. Holt is there. Funny Astro gets caught out of position, and he was using the sound barrier at the exact moment as well. No sound barrier now for Team UK, but a Gravitic Flux does get value. Sinatra trying to clutch this one for his team, but it looks like United Kingdom are going to be using almost every ult at their disposal. That was 5 ults used to try and win that fight.
And it was close, honestly. That pick onto Funny Astro to remove the sound barrier was insane. Very, very well timed between Super and Sinatra, but now they've made changes. Sinatra goes over to the McCree. They know that they only have 30 seconds left.
Right now, this is where we see Lucio players often have a huge impact on this particular area of Eichenwald. We'll see what Moth can do if he can come up clutch for Team USA. The hold comes out. Sinatra trying to hit these shots. Manages to nail the one headshot, but there's no follow-up right now. And he's waiting for an engage from Kib. Trying to get the flashbang onto him, but Kib too smart, playing passive. In the meantime, the Holt accretions are coming up, and now KSF has an ultimate to use to try and burn away the backline. It's coming down to the final overtime, and here we go, the Holt into it. See that sound barrier committed as well by the United States to stay back in this, but it's turning the way. Moth dies. I don't believe what I'm witnessing. Raucus, the Coalescence is useless. No value, and the boop in the end. Funny Astro is going to see it.
Another boop!
Oh my word. United Kingdom going to be stopping them just before they get the second checkpoint.
Huge defense from the UK. So many clutch moments from them to be able to keep themselves in the game. And the United States could not find an answer to that bridge defense. Neither team opting into the Bastion. We weren't expecting it from the UK, but we are expecting it from the USA on this defense here. I have an inkling that that is why KSF was substituted in. But we'll see how the UK adjust to it. For all of that ground that they managed to halt the US from gathering and that incredible defense that they put up on the bridge, if they can't crack this Bastion defense on point A, it might all be for naught.
And we've seen teams struggle with that Bastion defense on point A. This is United States' hope right now. Are they going to pull it out? We don't know yet. They're still deciding on the composition, the strategy that they want to employ. But the United Kingdom are going to be very pleased with this. They needed to win this set, and this gives them an in. It gives them a very clear opportunity, a goalpost, if you will, to try and reach.
Absolutely. It's supremely winnable as long as they can crack this Bastion Farah defense, which we're expecting to stay on the board for the United States. It's the kind of composition that, you know, the San Francisco Shock are so good at. Now, granted, that is not Super and Sinatra that normally play it. These are not players that played it in the Overwatch League Grand Finals or throughout the playoffs at any point. Moth is, however, and their coaching staff will be incredibly comfortable with this kind of setup. It's easy to execute as long as KSP and Moth don't go too aggro and they make their rotations at the right time. The United Kingdom will struggle to deal with this.
So look at KSP. I want to pay attention to him. He's going to try and get an early headshot onto the Farah Mercy combo.
But there's a Sigma barrier in the way.
Wow, yes, there is indeed. And this is the kind of mind games that are being played by both of these teams. The Sigma barriers trying to block it from them, and you see a full switch up now by the United Kingdom.
With Kib also going onto the Farah, taking this Farah v Farah duel, which I wasn't expecting from him.
Okay.
Between Kib and KSF, I would give the advantage to KSF most of the time, but we don't really consider KSF a spectacular Farah.
We'll see. KSF is playing very far back. This forces the positioning, honestly. Kib has to play close if he wants to try and contest him, or they have to focus on trying to break this Bastion defense.
Which is exactly what they're going to do. The United Kingdom can just output so much damage into that Orisa shield, and Sinatra's stunned up just for a moment.
Okay, now we see the Immortality field is actually going to be used here, committed by the United States. There's a long cooldown on that. Pay attention, the accretion comes in, and that's going to set up a kill onto Smex.
It's actually
Matrix as well, but
such an early Amp Matrix from Raucus. They gave up a tick though. They didn't want to. They dropped from the high ground onto the low ground to contest the point, but they still had to give a little bit of space and respect to KSP and Kib, and they have given up one tick. For the United Kingdom, their goal is to keep doing this. Spam the Orisa barrier a lot, play the point with Fusions and Smex, and force the fight down on the ground where they can play the angles more.
It's the slow siege, if you will. United Kingdom looking for an opportunity to try and pick off at least this bunker that's being set up. You can see Sinatra being supported by the rest of his team here.
That Rock
he
ain't
has
doing
the shields. Of course, yes, the Rock is not going to be doing much. And the Immortality field now being used by the United States. So that's a cooldown, a very important one now, going to be missing for the United States. Still rotating around. The United Kingdom have to be so careful with the way they approach this, but the ultimates are coming online. Sinatra gets caught with the stun. Oh! Kib from the back line. 2 kills to his name. The point is being capped up, and Smex gives the beat down. Super and Space are going to be sent packing.
KSF is the man that needs to be keeping his eye on Kib. He's also got to worry about Boombox and KSF, of course, KSP, spamming him with that damage from afar. But where was KSF? Why was he not monitoring where Kib was? And how did he allow Kib to sneak in behind for that 2K barrage? It was perfectly timed by Kib to be able to wiggle away from KSF. But now the United States are back with a vengeance.
This is such an important fight for the United States to win. If they defend here, they are in a very, very strong vantage point to defend for the rest of the map. Smex building up the Programazon. Oh my word! He connects so many players up straight into the air, but stunned almost instantly as he goes up. And the United States have read it like a book, pulling all of them. Sinatra with the rocket punch initiations will secure the win for his team.
Sinatra was brought incredibly weak there, and Super as well, but they knew that they had to take an aggressive position. They have to keep trying to spawn camp the UK. They force a supercharger out of Fusions inside of their own spawn.
Brutal gaming right now from the United States. Absolutely bullying the United Kingdom in their own spawn.
But this is where the United Kingdom made a mistake last time. It was Kib that died by playing too aggressive and trying to play ahead of his team. If Sinatra or KSF fall, the whole of the US have to retreat. But if they don't, if they play tight and disciplined, this could be a long hold.
Coalescence comes out, the Hulks trying to pull them all together. United Kingdom looking for an opportunity to try and get a pick here, but Sinatra is too strong in the back line. He killed Kib, but Funny Astro will finish him off as well. The 1-for-1 trade is going to be suiting the United Kingdom. They have the spawn advantage, and they will continue to take this fight. But the United States, the only thing they're focused on right now is trying to basically stop this card from progressing as much as humanly possible. You can see them stalling on the point, staggering. And they did buy a minute off the clock.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. And the US can still defend underneath the bridge and then on the bridge as well.
2 opportunities.
2 different bridges.
Yeah. The same bridge, just different spots.
No, it's two different bridges. Look, this little archway.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I was
I
talking
guess
about.
it is. I guess
it was
it is.
confusing.
But here we have it. United States initiating it very quickly. Supercharger laid down, gives Sinatra enough damage to try and get the kill onto Boombox, and he succeeds in that. And the United States again, see, this is the power of their forward hold. They bought so much time, they're just going to go straight back in their spawn again.
That's
no
very
respect
bold.
being shown.
I mean, it's a selfless style, right? It's what Sinatra knows. He always loves playing on these hyper-aggressive teams. The United Kingdom are going to be forced to use ults just to break this, I think. They need a decisive win.
Kip comes in. Going to be using the meteor strike to survive this one, but the United States is too late.
They already lose 2 players, and Funny Astro commits the sound barrier inside their spawn. The United States have been able to find all the picks, only losing Super, and they forced ults out of the UK.
Brutal.
So far back.
Brutal for the United Kingdom. Smex loses the Gravitic Flux. Kip using a meteor strike. Funny Astro getting no value out of the sound barrier. All critical mistakes, but they killed Super, and that forces the United States to pull back.
Sinatra's in.
Wow.
I don't know what that was. And a very ambitious seismic slam. Perhaps a boop from Funny Astro there. That's unusual from Sinatra to make such a mistake.
KSP.
But KSP in the back as well, ensuring that this fight goes the way of the United Kingdom.
2 kills going the way of the United Kingdom. That's going to set it up for them. And now they push it through one of the more difficult objectives, but this is going down to the wire. There is a minute remaining for the United Kingdom. They have to push it over one of the hardest points in the game. This bridge is a death trap. You need to watch out for the enemy Lucio player. It's gonna be on Moth to try and get these critical boops and stop United Kingdom in their tracks. But the United Kingdom are far too quick. They've initiated far before the United States can even react to it. But Sinatra turns it around with the Meteor Strike Hulk combo.
Space replying as well, gets a pick on the Smex, but this is only a couple of players left alive for the Team UK. KSP
2
is
players
clutching up.
pushing it in.
Can KSF even get there in time? He's on the tracer, he stalls it out. Super's back in.
This might actually be clutchable right now for the United States. A few players remaining, and the players though from the United Kingdom are coming back in to stall it. Funny Astro clutches it up with the kill onto Raucus, but the United States are most definitely doing this now. KSF, no one is able to focus him down, and the United States are going to be able to hold.
But there's only 10 seconds left. The United Kingdom has only a moment, one breather to regroup, and then they need to touch the cart again. Smex is going to fall. Fusions has got to be the man to do it.
He touches the cart, and that's going to trigger the overtime. Pushed onto the cart right now, booped away, just off to the side now. We start to see the United Kingdom desperation plays. Funny Astro goes for the boop, trying to get at least one environmental kill. It might be enough to turn the tide of the fight, but so far the United States playing so disciplined.
And Moth with the sound barrier as well. Doesn't actually catch onto Sinatra, so still an opportunity for that pick. Funny Astro finds it. That's a lot of clutch potential removed. But KSP's down. Funny Astro in though. 5-man sound barrier.
Getting the barrier was critical right now. The United Kingdom might be able to take
Oh!
it. KSF, he comes up with the goods when it matters most. 3 kills for him. The star of the United States so far in this map. And he has absolutely dominated the United Kingdom. Worked them in the neutral if I'm supposed to steal a turn from Super in the end. And the United States will close out this set with a win over the United Kingdom 2-0.
What an incredibly close battle there, honestly, between two teams that were giving it their all. That was clutch. That was close. That was unbelievable plays. And imagine KSF's Tracer clutching
Coming
it
in
at the
for the
end.
clutch at the end.
He isn't known as a Tracer player. He picked off Fusions. He got a 2K Pulse Bomb. He got the pick towards the end as well. Oh my word. The United Kingdom pushed the USA to the limit, but they didn't break.
A good showing from the United Kingdom, all things considered.
Sure.
United States looking like one of the more dominant teams in this group. I know for a matter of fact that the United Kingdom probably also going to be prepping extra hard for the United States. There's a little bit of a rivalry between these two countries. They want to be trying to take wins over each other.
And
but at the end of the day, the United States come out on top with a 2-0. Still one more map to be played, though.
Still one more map, and that's going to be very important for the United States in particular. They are looking to have a perfect record in this group. For the United Kingdom, it's all but done. They are now 0-3 in the group. They are going to be eliminated. They will not move on to the next stage of the tournament. An unfortunate showing for the United Kingdom to lose to France, to lose to the USA. 2 teams they would have loved to come in here and beat. But for the USA, this dream is still alive of having a perfect World Cup. It's ambitious. The aspiration, especially when you're in a group with South Korea. But the dream is still alive.
Oh, the dream is very much real. In fact, South Korea already slipping up.
Yeah.
Taking the mantle, United States, I mean, this might be the year that they do it. All the pieces are in place. You got Krusty, who's coaching South Korea.
Yeah. and you've got Harsher and Junkbuck,
Yes.
who have learned underneath
Krusty
at various times
coaching
throughout his coaching career.
The United States of America, being coached by those two guys as well as Aero as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty
It's
wonderful
interesting.
storyline,
Yeah.
and that game will be phenomenal. That'll be Avast and ZP on the call at this stream after this match. So the USA don't get any breaks.
No, it's back to back to back to back.
And they've still got another map to play here against the United Kingdom, and they haven't been easy. Both of the maps so far would have been incredibly winnable for the United Kingdom. I mean, both of them came down to overtime fights that were nuts. Some of the craziest overtimes that we've seen so far. And we've seen a lot of crazy stuff in the World Cup.
There's a world in which we would have been seeing a 2-0 to the United Kingdom right
Yes,
now.
it wouldn't require too many differences, and we
Yeah.
would have seen a 2-0 for the UK. But they just didn't pull it out when it mattered. It's a game of inches here in Overwatch, but honestly, the US have just been the better team via that tiny little amount.
The next map we're going to be going to is, press the button,
Oh,
2 rosters facing off against each other.
I actually can't remember what the final map is.
Yeah.
I think it might be. Are we going to Rialto?
Potentially, actually.
Maybe. It must be an escort map, right? So
It
it's
is
either
Rialto.
Gibraltar or Rialto.
It's Rialto, yeah.
Okay.
It is Rialto.
Wunderbar.
So,
Rialto is another one where you can see a lot of value being gained from the Bastion Farah kind of compositions.
yes. And I have interesting compositions that have been ran throughout the history of it.
Yes. Incredibly strong in the goal.
Yes.
But we've seen Farah's have a lot of value there. I thought the United Kingdom would struggle a lot more with that Bastion Farah defense. And actually, they managed to find a good way around it.
Yeah. And I've been impressed, actually, the way they've been adapting throughout the tournament of the games I've been able to catch, at least, because it seems like it's a team that very much warms up. Now, when they have their way with sort of the weaker teams, and
They're
Kib
just
and KSP
dominant.
can just absolutely dominate with sheer mechanical skill. Start to go up against some of the stronger teams like the United States, South Korea, France, for example. Don't get quite away with as many little quirks, that they're doing against the weaker teams.
And there, a little bit of flair, of course, in these games as well. There's a bit on the line for both of these teams. It is, if not the defining grudge match of the World Cup, which you would say is USA-South Korea, it's got to be one of them. Because the USA got eliminated last year by the UK.
I would say this is the grudge match
the grudge match? Potentially. I mean, the USA have already won
Are
it.
you struggling to admit it because they've already lost?
I don't think so. Because for me, the grudge match every year is the USA going up against South Korea.
Okay.
I think every year the storyline is, can Team Korea be overcome? And will it be the USA that ends up doing it? Now, last year, obviously, didn't happen. They were set to meet in the semifinals, but the UK stopped that from occurring.
Yes.
This year, we will see them in the group stage, and we may see them again in the playoff stage. I believe they would only meet again in the finals if they do meet there. But both teams are looking superb for going to the finals if France doesn't have something to say about it.
Yeah. These groups have ended up more interesting than I would have anticipated, particularly this one here in Group A that we're following. Group B is a hodgepodge, if you will, of different teams.
It is.
And honestly, it is anyone's game in that one particular group. China seems to be the dominant force that everyone's trying to beat.
Sure.
But definitely more winnable and definitely more easily able to sneak into the top 3 at least, or at least the bottom 2 teams. But it sounds like we are going to be heading into the game as we get ready to go for the final map of this set between the United Kingdom and the United States. Now all 3 maps are played just for the map differential reasons.
Yep, and it is actually important for the United States because even if they lose to South Korea, right? Even if they end up having a 3-1 scoreline at the end of this group, they can still come out on top against South Korea in the map differential and end up in first seed, which means they would dodge China. That is actually quite important.
It is. It's huge. And we'll see if they're able to do it here today against the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom going for a very forward hold here, trying to spawn camp them. United States rotating around. Actually, they will be the ones on the defense. It's the UI that's a little bit incorrect, but
the United States? No. The United States are attacking here.
Oh, they just swapped all the way around.
They've just
without me even realizing.
Done the big old rotate.
They've actually just debated me.
Yep.
The caster himself. Well, here we have it. The rotations around. Accretion going to be connecting up onto Corey. Pushes him back in the end. And we see Super actually collecting the kill there onto Funny Astro. And this is a very, very unique first team fight that is occurring right now.
Yeah, incredibly strange situation. I mean, the Bastion composition has been something that we've seen a lot on Rialto, but the United Kingdom playing very aggressive with the May Reaper, just trying to get maximum value out of it. And you want to play as close to the spawn doors as you possibly can. All of this is just free time here for the United Kingdom. Yeah. So I like the way that they did that. You want to block the payload even while you're fighting. They've ticked off a free minute on the clock.
Reminds me of Finland.
Yeah, Finland at the last World
Cup
Cup did the same. I mean, that was with a quad tank setup, but the same concept applies. It's very brawly. You want to be close to people, and May Reaper just wants to get in your face, block the payload, and start brawling.
Big rotation now from the United Kingdom as they wiggle their way round, trying to find a high ground. See Sinatra now trying to find opening picks. He has the high noon, going to be opting to pop it off. He needs to be healed by the rest of his team, and he brings down Boombox. Critical kill there. Removes the Coalescence from the fight, and the United States will keep this cart rolling.
The Amp Matrix was good there. The May Wall from Kib boosted Corey up and above, but they still just weren't able to close that gap. The United Kingdom are going to have ults to be able to recontest with, which is why the US have positioned themselves so far forward. They want this fight to happen way before they block the payload.
And here we have it. They're putting an overwhelming amount of damage so far. Corey decimating the side of the United Kingdom. This Bastion composition, and this is where we start to see the United Kingdom struggle with trying to deal with these Bastion comps.
Yeah, really nice positioning by the US. The USA knows how to push their momentum. When you're winning with a Bastion comp, you never want to be sat on the payload. I know there's this meme about the pirate ship and always having your Bastion on the payload and well protected, but the top teams in the game will always push their Bastion as far forward as possible where they can still be supported.
Yeah, well, we're seeing early Blizzard now by Kib as they're trying to dethrone the United States from that upper high ground position. Snatcher goes for the age-old So Min Soo. Does find a kill into Kib, but not before the United Kingdom are able to retake it, and they will be able to defend.
This is going to be hard, though, for Corey to get set back up on the card. I don't think they're going to stick with this. Yeah, they move over onto the Reaper Doomfist comp. And this is a good composition to play into the May Reaper. Kib then respects it and switches over to the Doomfist himself. Yep. So we've got a mirror matchup in the meta comp.
Now KSP with the Death Blossom, just looking for the primary fire shots, and the United States are just running all over the United Kingdom right now.
Yeah.
Feels like they're just disordered, if you will. I mean, at the end of the day, 2 maps in this series, it is effectively over right now for them, but the United States are ever the more motivated right now to try and get this 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, the United Kingdom look a little mentally checked out. They tried to take the fight there, but Sinatra just ripped into them. Picked off 2 picks insanely quickly. And with 3 minutes left on the clock, the United States are setting a good pace here, and the Gravitic Flux is going to catch people up. Funny Astro has to reply.
Yep, Funny Astro replying, and he is going to keep his team up. See the supercharger laid down by the United Kingdom. Coalescence from Raucus. Just going to be waving down the rest of the United Kingdom, trying to bring them low enough. KSB desperately trying to clutch this one, but gets cancelled out with the accretion from Space. Dominant performance by him. Very much a subtle carry role that Space has been playing so far in this series. He hasn't had these high impact plays. He hasn't really been filling up the kill feed, so to speak. But the accretions have been there, and the fluxes have definitely been there.
They certainly have, but the US has to back off a little bit just to reconnect with everybody, and then they can recommit to this fight. They will have the sound barrier and the supercharger to work with, so expect the USA to turn up the tempo as soon as they're all 6 back. And it looks like Sinatra's going for a flanky play into the backline. Huge damage.
Seismic slam all the way from on high. Soundbar now going to be used aggressively. They know Smex is not close to his own Gravitic Flux, and you can see the fight is already turning in the United States' favor. Shield comes down from Fusions just in the nick of time. Will block the majority of the damage from that Meteoric Strike. Uppercut as well is going to be forcing him up. Shield ends up getting broken, halted forwards, backwards, in every single direction right now. Sinatra very, very low, but his team supporting him, keeping him up. The heal's not quite there, but it doesn't matter. The space has been created, and the United States able to win out this team fight as soon as they clean up Smex.
And we were talking a little bit...
Bit of a wasted ult there as well.
Definitely a wasted ult. We were talking a bit about Space, and one of the biggest ways that you can see his impact is how well Sinatra is supported on the Doomfist. The two of them are working together to ensure that they have flank angles, to make sure that Sinatra is shielded when he goes in and maybe gets stunned or counterpunched. Space is there, creating space, as the name would imply, but also helping Sinatra.
Space, Gravitic Flux available to him. We see the Coalescence coming in. This is the opportunity now for the United Kingdom to try and take this team fight. They have so much damage being pumped out onto the United States, and they're going to easily be able to clean up the rest of them as well. That was a Supercharger committed, a Coalescence committed, a Meteor Strike committed. 3 ultimates being used there.
And that forces Sinatra back off the Bastion and back to the Doomfist. You can only really play the Bastion if you can easily get set up on the payload or further forward than the payload. You never want to set up behind it.
Space now with an opportunity for a free Gravitic Flux if he chooses. Sinatra gets taken out early. I'm curious now, are they going to still commit into this? The answer is yes right now. Moth trying to work his magic up onto the walls. Gravitic Flux in the back line gets a lot of work done as Kib and Bunny Asher are brought down. Coalescence is being used. KSP tries to clutch it out with his own ultimate, the Death Blossom, but to no avail. And now the United States push forwards. 1 minute, 24 seconds on the clock, slowly ticking down. But an opportunity for them to finish with a bit of time remaining on the clock.
The United States don't really have anything to work with here. But so far the UK is playing with many more mistakes and holes in their gameplay than we've seen throughout the rest of this. One errant person, KSP or Kib, getting picked, and the US have an entry.
And we've seen it over and over and over again. The Death Blossom now. Corey wants to seal this game. He wants to get it over with. Death Blossom brings down Boombox. The Moira out of the fight means no more healing. Kib, though, returns from the flank. Peels for his teammate. Gets the punch off, but nobody is there to contest Super thus far. Super getting the damage done. Meteor Strike onto the cart. He narrowly sidesteps it, using his shield to try and block the majority of the Meteor Strike. Holt going to be yoinking a couple of the players back, and now we see the Supercharger. Super, look at him. Body blocking it, trying to basically keep the United Kingdom away from destroying it, and now we see Sinatra. He has the Meteor Strike, using it aggressively. Flux comes up, claims 1 kill here onto Kib. And with this much damage done, the United States are going to be able to get a nice, clean team fight win, and as a result, cap all 3 checkpoints.
Still time on the clock as well. Not that it makes much difference on a map like Rialto, but a sign of how smoothly things happened there for the United States of America. Team USA ripping through the UK there. A lot of errors with how the UK were playing. They look a little mentally checked out. This is not their final match, but they have been eliminated from the playoff stage, and I think that that's weighing fairly heavily on their minds.
I won't lie to you, Josh. I think at this point, the only thing on their mind might just be a hot tub.
Yeah, hot tub and the after party.
I say that with sincerity.
Yeah.
You know.
The United Kingdom, they're always down for a good time. They have talked a lot about how good friends they are and how they believe that that allows them to give more critical feedback without people taking offense to it.
Yeah.
Allows them to effectively communicate with each other and set up a lot of good teamwork within, let's be real, a team that doesn't have the most star talent in the world and doesn't have a lot of pre-existing synergy from things like the Overwatch League.
Yeah. A lot of Overwatch League players in this game, though. Funny Astro, Boombox, Fusions.
Sure. Kib as well.
Kib, former.
Though,
I believe still looking for a team.
Sure, yeah.
But yes, a lot of star power in certain ways. I mean, they're not players that you would associate with being megastars on roles, like you would for Sinatra on the Doomfist or Super's own Winston gameplay or Reinhardt gameplay. But at the end of the day, United Kingdom just trying to put up a good fight now against the United States. Maybe they can prevent the 3-0 sweep. And Corey is running his Widowmaker, and this is a role he is well known for.
It certainly is. You don't normally expect it alongside the Bastion, so the UK might not be prepared, but I think he's looking forward to snacking on Kib and KSP when they run the Farah Hanzo. Corey could get a lot of work done here. It's a very specific counter to the style that United Kingdom are going to play, but because he knows exactly what comp they're running, the Widow might still get value.
Well, Corey being pressured down. Has to eat up the health back, get some healing from the rest of his team. 1 headshot there onto Fusions.
Smex is just trying to run him down.
Very aggressive off angle. He gets a kill.
I mean, who can help Corey? That's why you don't normally see the Widowmaker with the Bastion. It's countered fairly heavily by double shields, and nobody can really help the Widowmaker at all. But it's an interesting selection, and Corey's got the talent for it.
Yeah, Sinatra will be brought down in the end. Not before trading a kill down to Funny Astro, but it is going to be the attacker's spawn advantage. The closest spawn point means they're able to get back into the point faster. The United Kingdom able to secure a couple of kills as well. And it's going to be a team fight win. The United States is backing off. They need to regroup, count their losses, see what they can do coming back into the next fight.
I think this Sinatra pick is interesting. It's actually something the United Kingdom struggled with as well. Soon in France's game against the UK was destroying Funny Astro and Boombox in the backline on Tracer. And Sinatra gets an opportunity to flex here. I want to see what Sinatra can get done.
Yeah, this is a pocket pick for him. Now the United States, they are defending just underneath this archway. The Hulk comes through from the United States, but they don't really coordinate it with that much else. They can't secure the kills, but Smek's going down is problematic for them. Look at Kib now, hunting for Corey, trying to hit this shot. This is a very brave man. The rest of his team peeling for him. They are going to trade. Meanwhile, the team fight is kicking off on the point. This ground war, as the supercharger has been utilized by the United Kingdom. Still winnable for them, and KSP is coming up clutch, scoring a lot of kills on the Hanzo, but still defended by the United States.
The USA has spawn advantage here, or at least it's even. This is a very defensible location on Icon Vault. You need big team wipes in order to be able to flex it over. Boombox gives up his Transcendence to go over to Moira. That's how much they believe in the power of Moira in this composition, that they don't even want the Trance. And I think that's a good move, personally. Zen is just going to get snacked upon. He's going to be a little morsel to eat, and a amuse-bouche, if you will.
Sure. Well, United Kingdom. I'll be honest with you, Josh, I didn't know what that meant.
It's like a canapé. It's something you, like a starter, you know?
Yeah, I didn't mean to just leave you hanging there, but I actually had no idea what language you were speaking.
That's fine. It's France. It's French.
United Kingdom.
They're actually doing all right, Bren. Give them some respect.
The supercharger. And just before you can explain to me what it was, what did you say it was, a pastry?
No, it's not a pastry. An amuse-bouche is like what you have. It means like entertainment for your mouth, right? Amuse-bouche. Bouche is mouth. Amuse is like amuse. Right?
An amusing mouth.
No, not an
like
amusing mouth. It's something that's amusing for your mouth. Or not even amusing. I don't know why I'm getting sucked down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's something that's supposed to be delightful for your mouth. It's a starter. It's a delicacy at the beginning to get you to anticipate the rest of your meal.
So confusing. Such a confusing language. One of the more difficult ones.
Well,
to learn,
you'll have to learn it now because France defeated the UK.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I don't think that means they get to change the national language.
That's how things used to work, Brent.
That is true. That is how they used to work, but not anymore. Sinatra flexing over to the Symmetra pick.
Just dunking on the UK right now.
Yeah, little bit of flexing on them.
I love it, though. The USA
damage.
have an opportunity to show the UK why they are the team that's always lauded as the team to take down South Korea and win it all.
And they just need somebody to try and contest this point. Look at Sinatra. He's got so much damage being built up by these shields. Ammo constantly being replenished. Boombox forced to use the fade to back away. And the United States, in a dominant fashion, are going to secure the 3-0 sweep against the United Kingdom.
A completely undefeated run so far for the United States of America. They are looking pretty. An incredible group stage for them so far. It hasn't been the cleanest game, at least it wasn't at the beginning of that, but the USA just showed towards the end they are a better team, a cut above the UK, and they are the team that will go on to face South Korea on this stream after this.
Yep.
And we will see the clash of the giants.
And that is going to be the game to watch on this stream right here. But for now, myself and Sideshow are going to be done casting on this stream. We're going to be moving over to the stream that Jaws and Leg Day, I believe, are going to be on.
Yep.
To cast Russia versus the Netherlands. That's actually going to be a banger of a match and a lot of implications with it.
I think that will actually decide which teams get out of Group B between Russia and the Netherlands. Might be incorrect because I haven't seen how all the games have been going whilst we've been casting this one, but I think that's an important decider match. As is the USA versus South Korea. I wouldn't blame you for staying here, honestly.
Yeah,
not
it's
going to blame
bound
you.
to be a banger of a match because, I mean, it is going to be the match and potentially a sneak preview of the grand finals at some point, maybe, or at least one of the matches later down the line. Remember, we have one more day as well of BlizzCon. This is just deciding who moves forward into the final 6 teams. But for now, we're going to love you and leave you, and we will see you on the other stream.